Hi, good afternoon. My name is Chris Boyer, and this is a video response for PE 584 at APU. This is for week 1 introductions, and I'm here to introduce myself to you. So welcome to PE 584 for the rest of students like me who are doing our capstone project. Here I have some response to the written prompt. So what is my current occupation and where do I work? I work here at Murrieta Valley High School as an RSP teacher in special ed department. So I'm completing my secondary credential in special education. I got my preliminary credential. I finished that in May, and so I received my preliminary credential in PE, and I am still writing my capstone and getting my MA in PE. So I also work as a water polo coach and swim coach here at Murrieta Valley High School, and I'm going to be working with Elite Water Polo Club here in Murrieta as a water polo coach. So I got a number of different hats that I'm wearing, but my primary vocation at this point is I got hired to do RSP, and so I'm here for that. But I have an absolute passion and enthusiasm for coaching and water polo, swimming, all sorts of sports. So what research topic do you intend to investigate for your capstone project? So I'm going to investigate the effects of strength versus Olympic lifting for sport-specific indices of water polo. And specifically what I'm looking at is whether slow movement, eccentric training has greater effects than Olympic lifting or explosive lifting, explosive movements on the sport of water polo, and a few areas that we measure like shot velocity, vertical in-water leap, and agility, and 20-meter sprint. So that's what we're looking at, and I'm really excited about that. I'm very passionate about water polo. I'm very passionate about performance gains, and I'm excited to see how that's going to work out. My seminary paper really changed the direction because my initial thought on it, my seminary paper and doing the literature review really changed the direction for me on that. So I'm excited to continue this process and this journey of working on my thesis. So what are my 5 strengths identified in PE 582 from StrengthsFinder and Gallup polls? Really excited. Love StrengthsFinder. It's my new favorite personality and strength test. Previously Myers-Briggs, so MBTI, was my favorite for 20 years or 15 years. I was really excited about that. I loved that. And now it's definitely StrengthsFinder. My 5 greatest are command, communication, woo, significance, and activator. So I'm going to explain the values of what will assist me in completing my capstone, how those strengths will really help me. And so for the activator, which that came in number 5 for me, so I think that the way that it works is they were listed in order of priority, like strongest to weakest. Activator came in as my weakness, but I find myself to be completely an activator. I love to, once I look at something, jump in on it and go, and so it's going to really help me in getting my project going, and I like to get things done on the spot. So it's like as soon as I find out about something, I like to write down when am I going to do it, when is it due by. Today, for instance, as soon as I started doing jumping into this class and finding out, I said I want to get as much done as possible. So an activator is influential, action-oriented, initiating, fast, and fearless. For significance, significance is a big one for me. I didn't like that I had this one at first because it's dependent on other people, finding other people that are pros, considering what other people think about me. So I didn't really like when I discovered that I had this strength, but I believe it helps me to continue to pursue excellence. And so significance helps me to want to be credible, influential, independent, exceptional, and set a legacy. And I think even with my capstone project, it makes me want to really define a credible project, make my project excellent, make it awesome. So it kind of significance is going to put me in a space where I'm drawing near to those who are experts and trying to rely on their past experience and training to be able to fuel my future journey. So I feel like significance is really good for this project. Woo, winning others over. So for woo means that I'm charming, that I'm a networker, I'm outgoing and gregarious, initiating and energetic. And that's going to work hand in hand with my next 2 strengths, which basically with woo, it's going to help me to be able to get my study done because I have to lead people in a way to be able to want to do the study and to do it right. and their participation is going to be required. So I believe that with Woo, that's going to really help me to be able to, execute my study. So with Command, Command means I'm decisive, I'm driven, I'm persuasive, assertive, candid, and direct. And I believe that really helps me with my coaching. And I'm going to be using my coaching hand in hand and this skill or this strength of command presence to be able to get people to move from point A to point B, especially when it comes to our study. With my study, trying to do it correctly, trying to make sure that people are adhering, looking, because I want to find significant results. And so I want to see what's going to happen. And in order to do that, people have to adhere to the protocols. And so I'm going to have to use command and communication. So storyteller, interactive, expressive, captivating, and a verbal processor. I think of these ones, the interactive and expressive and captivating are the three that really stood out to me, because my study requires a group of people to be able to do what I'm asking them to do in order to see if we're getting results. So I think expressive and captivating, those are also really important for me to be able to express what I need, communicate clearly what it is that I want people to do, and make sure that they understand, and it's going to save me a lot of time and be able to help me get it done. Okay, last, so the basement. So going into the basement of my strengths, again, going back to why I think StrengthsFinder is awesome, is because all of my strengths, or I should say all of my weaknesses, are framed in light of my strengths. And I love that because it helps me understand all of those weaknesses that I have, that I've seen over the years, that I've been told about, that I'm aware of now. Now I can say, well, this is why, because I have these strengths. And so it's really great. I love looking at the basements and understanding them better. So when I look at the basement of command, I'm bossy, I can be a dictator, steamroller, I can be domineering, abrupt, strong-willed, and intimidating. And I think those are all things that I can be, and those have been part of my, my weakness. And because when I'm in nearing the basement and I see those triggers happening, I need to have a filter to make sure that as I'm going through this process of coaching, teaching, particularly with our project, what we're trying to do with our capstone and leading people through this, I have to make sure that I'm connecting with people and that I make people a priority over my project. Second is communication, that I could be a poor listener, self-absorbed, overtaken, and it says need for efficient, and I think that means efficiency. And in particular, just I think in communication, I could be egocentric. And so with my programming, what I'm doing, even with my programming with water polo, that could be very egocentric, just putting it towards my thesis, putting it towards this instead of thinking about the individual's needs. And so I think that even though I'm doing a project with my strong strength of communication, I have to be careful to not be over talkative, that I have to work on my listening, that I have to receive feedback, because no leader can make the right decision without the accurate data and feedback. So activator, my next one. So activator, I could be unbalanced, can't relax, overcommitted, and burnout. This one really resonated with me when I saw it, knowing that I'm going into this season right now, not just water polo season, but this season of my life, this year of my life, this calendar year. I'm a first-year RSP teacher. I'm a father with 3 children that have their own sports that we're running their own life. I have my family life. So it's just being a husband, being a father, going into this project. I feel like, just starting this class, it can be very overwhelming to think about this next 16 weeks. So during the next 16 weeks, although I'm an activator and I like to jump in feet first, I just don't want to, I hope I haven't bitten off more than I can chew, and so I could say I have a little bit of anxiety in relationship to that right now. Okay, so significance. So one of the things with significance that could be bad is that I always need recognition, and I could be unmotivated by the mundane. And so in the middle of my study, when things seem like we're just going through a routine, I just have to remember, have the end in mind. And I think with significance also, just like as far as working through the project, and with any project, with any event, I always am asking other people, what do you think about it? How'd you feel about it? And I'm always looking for others' approval and getting their feedback, and I could have thin skin. So I just don't want to have thin skin in this season. Over this next 16 weeks, I just want to move forward and enjoy the process. So Woo, this one it really resonated with me also, because it says that Woo could be phony, superficial, shallow, doesn't care about deep relationships. And like I already mentioned in the basement, if I'm not paying attention to others' needs, I could put the project, the event, the calendar as more important than other people. And so with winning other people over, I really want to make sure that that I care about deep relationships and don't make it superficial, that I want to remember their name, who are they, get to know them better. And we're talking about my team, so I do know them, but in this process of a new job with a new team, I want to make sure that I'm putting people as a high priority and getting to know them, their specific needs, their specific hopes and dreams, not just what I'm trying to accomplish. So I know this was kind of a long video because I'm not editing it straight cut, but hope you guys are excited about this coming semester, and I'm looking forward to getting to know each one of you. So I'm getting deep there, passing the woo, and trying to get to know you better. So thank you so much. Take care.